Hi, welcome home. I'm Stephanie Retrosi. So today I have with me a special guest. I have my friend Lisa Keslar of Keslar's Insurance. And I brought Lisa on today because I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions that homeowners have about home insurance. So I was wondering if you could go over a few of those things.
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
Great.
So we regularly get a whole list of questions, and I'm going to go over some of the key ones here for whether you're a first-time home buyer or second, third, fourth-time home buyer. The first one that's super easy is flood insurance. Flood insurance is not part of your homeowner's insurance, and that really surprises people. They think it's going to be part of their insurance, or gosh forbid if a flood happens, they assume that they're covered, and it's a totally separate policy. And that's just something that we get calls on every single week.
Yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. All right, so what else?
Okay, so the other thing that a lot of people don't know is that rates change, products change, and it's important to shop for your insurance at least every 2 years.
Oh, every 2 years you should be contacting your independent agent if you have one and have them do some work for you.
Some of the good agencies will be looking at your renewals anyway, and they should be doing that on your behalf. But if they're not, you want to make sure that you have the right products at the right price. And the reason is that carriers come out with new price rates all the time, and they come out with new products. And sometimes they want more business in one community, so they might offer actually something new and something really good for you that wasn't available 2 years ago.
That makes a lot of sense. So shopping around every 2 years, kind of important.
Kind of very important.
Got it.
That's a nice thing, but an independent agency, they can shop for you. If you're with an exclusive agency like an Allstate or a Nationwide, you're going to have to do that work yourself.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
What else?
So the next thing, a lot of people think Airbnb is covered on their homeowner's policy.
That's huge right now. Like everybody's thinking, I'll buy this property and I'll put it on Airbnb. But you're saying,
You call your agent.
oh, because it might not be covered?
It might not be covered. So short-term rentals often add an additional risk, right, to your home.
Oh, yeah.
You get strangers coming into your home for short
Stranger
periods of time,
danger.
right? So make sure you talk to your carrier. A lot of times the carriers either won't cover you or there's an additional endorsement that needs to be done.
That would be really important, I'm thinking.
Yeah, especially if you're going to buy a house and you want to make sure that, if you're planning to Airbnb a portion of it out or the house out at certain times.
So when you say Airbnb, I mean, that's a specific company, but are you talking about anytime you're renting it out to somebody else?
Yes.
Short-term rental?
Short-term rentals
long-term?
and long-term rentals. They
Right.
both have different implications to your insurance needs.
So speaking of the short-term or long-term rentals, if you are renting out, if you're the one renting out a property for a long-term rental, you should get your own policy.
You need a landlord's policy, yeah.
Okay.
So when you're renting or doing something other than living in your house, talk to your agent. Again, always go over those details with your agent on what you're planning on doing with the property. And they're going to ask really great questions, and they're going to make sure that you're covered.
And if you're the one doing the renting, if you're the one actually living in that rental,
you need renter's insurance because your stuff is not covered, and you're not covered for liability if something is to happen without renter's insurance.
is that generally an expensive policy to get?
Ridiculously inexpensive,
Oh,
especially
really?
if you can bundle it with your auto insurance. Then you get discounts off the renters and off the auto. And sometimes we've seen occasions where people are decided to add renters to their policy, and it's almost free. It's like $10 a month or a cup of coffee
Okay.
by the time they get the discounts.
So one of the other questions I had for you is that I've had some homeowners confused about escrow and how they escrow their insurance money. So can you kind of talk about that?
Absolutely, that's a really common confusing point for first-time home buyers, especially. But we walk them through that. We work really close with our the mortgage people that they've selected to set that up. But escrow means that their taxes are actually, or not taxes, their insurance actually is included in the mortgage payment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we actually will set that up in advance. So we have the name of their bank and we invoice the bank. So they're actually paying the bank is paying us.
And it's just for your homeowners, right? So if you've bundled your car and your boat, if you're lucky to have a boat.
Great point. Yes, we get that question all the time too.
Okay.
People are surprised that their auto insurance isn't paid by their mortgage company. So
Okay, I wouldn't think that would happen, but when you put things in escrow, so you have to pay that separately to your insurance company.
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that's another thing that people get confused on. The best thing to think about, and this is what I think a lot of people don't realize about their agent. They think their agent is just the person to get them these cheap quotes and move on.
Right.
And what their agent really should be is their partner. It should be a relationship. So this should be the person that works with them to make sure they have the right coverages, that answers those questions, that talks about coverage questions like the things we're talking about,
Right.
that deals with billing issues, that deals with claims, right? They should be your go-to. They're not just the person to get you the quote. They are your
They don't
partner
just
in all this.
disappear.
They shouldn't.
Okay.
So if you
If
have,
they do, you should go for another insurance agency.
yeah, you should
probably.
be working with somebody
Great.
that will take the time to be your partner and all those kinds of things.
Lisa Keslar, Keslar Insurance. I really appreciate your time today. Thanks for
My
coming by.
pleasure. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching Home in 60 Seconds.